And the other one was mindset. So I always upgrading my mindset. That's the other challenge because, for example, one of the things I overcame was the fear of being visible. So I remember that in the beginning, when I posted something on social media, I literally, physically, I will go disappear for a few days. So I wouldn't look at those posts at all because I felt so uncomfortable posting them. So once I overcame that, then I became more and more comfortable.
Talking with the experts.
Hello and welcome to Talking with the Experts. My name is Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com. And Talking with the Experts is about all things business by business owners for business owners, and you can find it on all popular podcasting streams and on YouTube. And today my guest is Cynthia Zhai, and Cynthia is from Singapore and her business is Full Voice Consulting. And we're going to be speaking about from zero to heroine to make the impossible possible. Welcome, Cynthia.
Sure. Thank you for having me, Rose.
Yeah, so Cynthia is a voice coach, a professional speaker, and a best-selling author. She is also a TEDx speaker. She has helped professionals from 46 countries across 6 continents to speak with a powerful voice. Cynthia has been a professional speaker and coach for the past 18 years, and her engagement spans 5 continents in 18 countries. Wow, that's very impressive, Cynthia. So tell me a little bit more about your business.
Sure. So my business is to help people develop their powerful voice so that they can be heard whenever they speak, whoever they speak to, and wherever they speak.
Yeah. So how do you go about doing that?
So I do that in 2 main ways. One is coaching. So I do one-to-one coaching, group coaching. And then the other one is speaking. So I speak in different conferences to empower people with their powerful voice.
Okay. So what challenges have you found with people that, don't use their voice in a strong way?
The very first one is the improper projection. Because for most people, the default voice that they're using is improperly projected. And when improperly projected, then they will find that when they're speaking in meetings, their voice was either too soft, or some of my clients too loud, too high-pitched, too low-pitched. So speaking too fast. And so that's one of the biggest problems.
Yeah, I have a tendency when I'm talking, like this, I'm fine. If I have to go to stand up on a stage, I just go into total meltdown. And I either talk, too softly so no one can hear me because I'm shy, or I rush through it because, I just want to get the experience over and done with. So how can people, use the skills that you can teach them to, have that balanced voice and not be able to speak too quickly?
Okay. So the situation you're talking about is because of nervousness. So when people are nervous, then the voice will be changed. Some of my clients, their voice will be trembling. And so those situations, they can also be managed by proper projection, which is that we are going through the process, including proper breathing, how to have deeper breaths, and then use the proper breaths to project the voice. And most importantly, to make them a habit. When they become a habit, then even if you're nervous, the voice will not be affected. So even though I have been speaking for so many years in so many different countries, so I always tell my audiences that I still get nervous. But when I'm nervous, because of the proper voice projection, so these problems, they won't affect my voice.
Yep. Could you perhaps share with us a tip how to, stop the nervousness and, be able to project your voice in a correct manner?
Sure. So a quick way is when people are feeling nervous, they can do a sigh. Just make a sigh like, and they can do that before they walk onto the stage. Once they walk onto the stage, they may not be able to do that so obvious sigh. They can do a silent sigh like this, with the mouth opening, so the air will go through the mouth, and then people wouldn't be able to see. And the other way is something that they will need to spend some time to practice, and that is the proper breathing. So people need to learn the proper way of breathing and make them a habit.
Yep. So I know that you're not meant to breathe from your chest. You're supposed to breathe from your stomach or your diaphragm. Is that right?
Yes. So to breathe with the support of the diaphragm, which is, for example, if we ask our viewers, our listeners to take a deep breath in and out, they may be doing this one. So the bad news is they are not breathing properly.
No.
The good news is they have potential.
Well, at least they're breathing, I suppose.
Yes. They're still alive.
Yes.
So the proper way is, you see, when I breathe in, you won't see any movement on the upper body, but I would be able to feel my belly come out. And when I breathe out, the belly will go in. So in that case, you see the movement is on the stomach, it's not on the upper body. Even if you're nervous, if you're doing the proper breathing, no one would know.
So I guess, how can we make the impossible possible? What strategies are there?
Yes. So it can, to make things, the impossible things possible, it can be anything, can be the voice, can be any challenge they're facing. And the very first thing, including a lot of my clients, when they work on their voices, the very first thing I always warn them on is their mindset. So a lot of my clients, they came to me, they said, is it possible? Is it possible to change my voice? How could it be possible? I said, if you are thinking about it, it's not possible. It's not going to happen to you.
No, it's not. No. Mindset is a great, I guess, fix for a lot of things. You have to change your mindset to be able to change your habits.
Yes. So the very first thing is they need to believe that this is going to work. So I show them the different examples, how it has worked for other people and how the process is designed so that it will work for them. It's not something that we say to ourselves, oh, I can do it, but without seeing any evidence, then we may not be convinced. So It's also to see the evidence.
Yeah, seeing is believing in a lot of cases. People don't normally stumble in blindly unless they have something to gauge, whether it's going to be a success for them or not. So yeah, it's good. And so how did you start your business?
Yes. So I started my business because I wanted to develop more of my talent. So when I was working for a company, I felt that I was only using 30% of my talent, 30% of my potential. And so also I didn't have autonomy. And all the material, I was doing training our own employees in my last job on leadership and communication. But all these training material, they have already been determined by the company. So I couldn't do much change. I couldn't get too creative. So that's where I started to thinking about starting on my own business. And of course, that it took me half a year to finally make that decision that I want to do this. So that's where I started.
Yeah, and so why a voice coach, Cynthia?
Yes. So I had been working on my voice almost throughout my life. So when I was young, I was performing singing. And I also did radio in college.
Oh.
But
Okay.
those things, they didn't tell me, oh, you're going to become a voice coach. It never occurred to me until in my very first job after graduation, I was working on becoming more assertive. So I was not assertive. And a friend of mine recommended me to work on assertiveness. So I went on a journey to look for all kinds of different ways to be more assertive. And I stumbled upon the speaking voice development. Then I realized, oh, speaking voice and singing voice, there are still differences. So once I developed my speaking voice, that's why I started to feel more confident, and a confident level that's even higher than where I was. So that planted the seed, but the seed didn't start to break out of the soil until in my last job, people were asking me, they said, Cynthia, you have a deep voice. How do we develop a deep voice? So that's where I realized, oh, this is something that people are looking for as well. And that gave me the final push to do the voice training and coaching.
All right. So how did you get your lovely deep voice?
So there are different things. One was in singing, breathing is always very important. So for me, breathing was easier. And then for the speaking voice development, like using the breath, how do you use the breath to project the voice? How do you use more of my body to project the voice? So those are the things that I've learned from voice actors. And in the past, I used to practice yoga as well. And so I adopted some of the yoga practices as well.
Oh, okay. Because it is very lovely. I mean, for a lovely woman as such as yourself, women just don't have a deep voice like that. It's absolutely quite soothing. You should take up doing guided meditations, I think.
Yes. So also that I think me as an example, also showing people the possibility that it doesn't matter how slim, how small your size is, you can still project a very strong voice.
It is very strong, yeah. And I understand that. How did you've become quite profitable in your business, starting with absolutely little financial resources? How did that go? What marketing channels did you use?
Yes. So when I started, that was about 11 years ago. That's where social media was just started to boom. And so I jumped onto the wagon. First, I set up my LinkedIn page, a LinkedIn profile. And not long after I set up my LinkedIn profile, I got a request from LinkedIn. So how rewarding it was.
Wow,
So
that's exciting.
I got, one of my first clients from LinkedIn. And so that's where it inspired me, motivated me. So I set up all these different channels. So I set up my LinkedIn, my YouTube channel, and also my website. So these are the three areas of focus in the beginning: online website, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And offline, I was attending different events, different networking events, different activities. So those are the two different channels, how I started. And then over the years, I think these are still the two major focuses.
Yeah. So what challenges and struggles did you go through, starting up your business?
Yes, there were quite a lot of them. So the very first one was when I started, because I was new, then people wouldn't see you as someone who is experienced. So that's one of the challenges. And so how I overcame that challenge was one client at a time. So whenever I finish coaching one client, I make sure that they made the progress, they made the transformation. And I did a video comparison for them, the before and after, which was very helpful. And also I asked every client in the beginning to write me a testimonial. So that's how it helped me to overcome the challenge as being someone new in the market. And the other one was mindset. So I always upgrading my mindset. So that's the other challenge, because For example, one of the things I overcame was the fear of being visible. So I remember that in the beginning, when I posted something on social media, I literally, physically, I will go disappear for a few days. So I wouldn't look at those posts at all because I felt so uncomfortable posting them. So once I overcame that, then I became more and more comfortable.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's
comfort. Comfort is it's sometimes hard to get. I know when I'm particularly proud of something that I've created and I've put it out there for the world to see, I go back and play it and play it and play it. If it's something that it's just like a habit thing, and it's not a habit, just something I had to do because I was told I should post more, and it doesn't. I don't look at it because I think, it wasn't aligned with my thinking, or it just wasn't intuitively posted, or, all those other things. So I was having a conversation earlier today about someone who's into quantum energy for business. And it was quite enlightening about
yes.
having, you need to use your business is an energy, and, everything is energy. I understand that. But yeah, using it in your business was quite enlightening, I thought.
Yes. Yeah. So the fear of being visible for me was also the fear of being judged, because I wasn't sure if I posted there, how many people will like, how many people will not like, how many people will comment, or would there be any comment? So a lot of things went on in the mind at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I can empathize with you totally. The fear, I think I don't know, I think it's more of a female thing though. The fear of being judged. We've got the comparisonitis where we often compare ourselves to others that are, they look more successful. They may not necessarily be more successful, but they look more successful than we are. And I think that's a female condition, unfortunately. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it happens to women more than happening to men. I do have male clients who are also afraid of being judged. But of course, it is happening more to women. We are more concerned.
Yeah, I think it's just the way we're brought up.
Yeah.
And culture, and of course, in different cultures, women aren't treated as equally as they could be in other as in other countries. So yeah, that has a lot to do with it too, I think.
Yeah. And also, for example, if I posted there in the beginning, the other thought was, if I posted there, people may think, who the hell is she posting that? So it's all kinds of things happening at the same time.
Yeah, it's right. It really messes with your head.
Yes. And then postpone your action. So
yes, you do.
We really need to get that over.
Yes, definitely. That's one of the biggest hurdles, I think, is the procrastination.
Yeah.
You need to just take action.
Yes.
Now, I've noticed you've left me a podcast review on iTunes, so thank you so much for that. That's really great. Even though it's from Singapore, I'm sure I'll get to see it eventually. And also, just let me having a look through. Have you written any books about your experiences or about what you do, or do you have your own podcast?
So I wrote the first book on what I do, and the first book is Influence Through Voice. And a friend of mine in Australia, he found my book after it was published in 2015. So he said, I found your book in a bookstore. So I said, okay, could you snap a photo for me? And he took a photo in the Australian bookstore.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Have you written any others?
So the second book I co-wrote with 15 other women. So we wrote a book on public speaking for women. even though it is same for women, it is also the book that men can read.
Yes, they can. They might even learn something.
Yes, they will.
They will. Excellent stuff. All right, Cynthia, where can people find you?
Sure. So as I mentioned, one is the YouTube channel. So I welcome people to subscribe my YouTube channel. We have 42,000 subscribers and over 200 videos. So if they want to learn anything about, not only anything about voice speaking, but also something about mindset, and they can find on YouTube, they can just go to YouTube, search Cynthia Voice Coach. They will be able to find the channel. And then they can also connect with me on LinkedIn and my website. So my website is powerfulexecutivevoice.com.
Well, that is amazing. I'll have to go and check out the YouTube channel now and put it as one of my featured ones.
Yeah.
All right, Cynthia, thank you so much for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak with you. And perhaps we can talk again later in the year.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy.